Hey friends, it's your friendly neighborhood geek preacher here. And I know I haven't been around much lately, but that's because life has been busy as I'm gearing up for Gen Con. Today I want to do something very different. I want to get back into something I used to do a lot of, and that's what I call geek theology. So we're going to do a bit of a dive into Thor, Love and Thunder. Now, with that said, there's going to be a lot of spoilers in this video. So if you don't want any spoilers about Thor, Love and Thunder, you need to stop right now. I'll give you a minute, take a moment and stop, and then we're going to get into Thor, Love and Thunder with some deep theological thoughts, or at least I think they're a little bit deep. Here we go. Okay. Here are my thoughts about Thor. I think this movie, Love and Thunder, can be seen through the lens of faith deconstruction and faith reconstruction. A lot of people talk about deconstructing their faith now, about how their faith didn't work for them, how their faith was toxic, and they had to get rid of it. They had to move away from faith, and they had to deconstruct it. They had to break it down. And I understand that. I've had a similar journey over the course of my life, and we see that not in Thor, but in Gorr, the God Butcher. You see, Gorr is traveling through a desert at the beginning of the movie with his daughter, who they call Love. Gorr is traveling with Love through the desert. And they're praying to their God to deliver them, to give them help, to give them moisture. And then after Love dies, that's right, after Love dies, Gorr is on the verge of death and comes across his God. And he finds out that his God is an uncaring jerk. His God doesn't care at all about the beings under his purview. His God teases Gorr and then gets mad at Gorr when Gorr basically tells this God that they are useless. And then, of course, Gorr gets a hold of the Necro Sword and God dies. And it's at that point Gorr sees the need to eradicate the universe of every deity, whether they're a good, caring deity or whether they're an uncaring jerk. Gorr is on this journey to destroy all the gods because Love has died. And Gorr has not been able to find a God that cares. Now, that is definitely a journey of deconstruction. Many, many people have been on a faith journey, and they have encountered a view of God or a view of the divine that is unloving, that is uncaring, that is filled with retribution and anger. Some on their journey have even encountered a view of the deity that treats human beings as a toy in some obscure metaphysical universal game. This deity seeks to just use human beings as game pieces. And after a time in that type of faith world or that type of faith experience, people get tired. Love dies in their heart, and they want to destroy that deity. They want to destroy anything divine, and I cannot blame them. I found Gorr, in my view, to be, for the most part, a fairly sympathetic character, because I have in my life encountered a view of the deity that was cruel, that was capricious, and that was mean. It wasn't until I truly began to understand what love is, what self-sacrificial love is, that my journey of reconstruction began. And that's where we see Jane Foster in this movie. Jane Foster is all about a journey toward self-sacrifice, a journey toward love, a journey toward mercy. And we see at the end of the movie that Jane Foster's sacrifice changes Thor. Thor begins to approach things with love. Instead of Thor taking those last few moments to go and destroy Gore, to keep Gore from changing everything, from destroying all the gods, Thor takes the time to go and have those last few moments with Jane Foster. And it's in Jane Foster, who enjoyed the battle, who enjoyed that strength. It's in Jane Foster we see that love doesn't die. You see, because that's what the divine is all about. It's about a divine encounter with an all-encompassing love that is willing to give of itself. And that, for me, in my tradition, is found in Jesus. An all-encompassing love for the divine and all-encompassing love for other people. So those are some of my thoughts about Thor. You may agree, you may disagree, but I would love to hear what you have to say in the comments. And I hope you have a wonderful day. And if you're the praying sort or the positive vibe sort, please feel free to give me some prayers or positive vibes as I head to the Gen Con Film Festival next week. And if you like my content, you can go to my bio and you can click on it and you will find a link to my Patreon. God bless you and have a great day.